Should throw it over to the PA for the live announcement for the starting lineup. 12 seconds of dead air. Let's go live now, Kelly. Starting tonight. For UMass.
At forward, that's 6'9" sophomore from Woodward, Virginia, number 34, Raphael Putney.
Plenty good seats in section 219.
Tony Brook and Seton Hall, they were playing at 7:15.
Then what?
Then we punt as deep as possible. Okay, got it. I do like the way they told everybody to move down and sit low if they want to. It helps the look a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my, this is huge. Boo!
Let's go do it.
Come on, come on,
come on. Still going to be a check from Mr. Disney when this is all over.
Got that right. I'll be at the Holiday Inn.
I'll be sitting out on the porch of my lake house smoking a big fat one.
You will.
Yes. Yes. The Minutemen of UMass from Amherst to Starkville. Derek Kellogg, their fourth-year head coach, moments ago in the locker room.
Biggest thing as always, fellas, we've come too far. You got me? We traveled all the way down from Amherst down to Starkville, Mississippi to come out here as a group and a brotherhood to play. You guys got that? So let's go out there now, stay together, no matter what happens. We go up, we go down, whatever happens, let's stay together, and as always, let's be the brotherhood. Let's get this done. Let's go.
That's what it is. Let's go.
And tonight they make that long trip to meet DeBost, a first-team All-SEC performer. A10 and SEC in the NIT next. And we welcome you to the 75th anniversary of the NIT. First round coverage from Starkville, Mississippi. The Bulldogs have been in this event before, most recently a couple of years ago. As you take a look at the brackets in first round action, the winner of this one goes on to meet the winner of Seton Hall and Stony Brook, and they tip off in about 15 minutes. Welcome to Starkville, everybody. At Humphrey Coliseum, Brad Nessler along with Jimmy Dykes. Partner, we were here about a month ago. Mississippi State was in the top 20. They went from that to being on the bubble, to being last four in, to being last four out, to being out. And I personally think Rick Stansbury has got a tough job tonight. He's got to get his kids and their heads back into this ballgame tonight.
You're right, Brad. Every year somebody plays their way out of the NCAA tournament, and that's exactly what Mississippi State did. They have no one to blame but themselves. And the opening round of the NIT, to me, it's always about who has energy and who's excited. I think UMass is excited to be there, and they're a dangerous ball club, scoring 85 points a game.
Well, they did very well in their conference tournament, but came up short. They are a fast team, and as we take a look at our one-on-one, that's part of it. Speed is part of it. The other part, well, how about size?
Well, I mentioned UMass, 85 points a ball game over the last 5 games. They're going to take 24, 25 three-point shots a game. They've made at least 10 threes 9 times for Mississippi State. It's about their size. You're going to offset that speed by pounding it inside to Arnette, Moultrie, and Renardo Sidney.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the visiting Minutemen of UMass. Part of that speed is led by their sensational point guard, little guy Chaz Williams with Jesse Morgan, Vincent, Putney, and Carter up front. And for the hometown Bulldogs, talk about size. A couple of 6'11 guys in Sidney and Moultrie on the front line. Bryant, Hood, and DeBost, an All-SEC performer, as is Moultrie, both on the first team. Derek Kellogg in his 4th year as a head coach at UMass. Rick Stansbury his 14th season here. And immediately off the opening tap, they went for an alley-oop, and Williams tried to get it to Putney, but the pass a little bit off the mark. They're going to get a second chance, though.
I'm telling you, these guys out the A-10, they don't waste a lot of time on the offensive end. They've won 22 ball games this year. They've beaten 5 teams that are in the NCAA tournament. They can score.
And there's the first score of the night. Jesse Morgan on the drive. Here's Renardo Sidney going the other way, and he's going to put it up off the window. There was nobody else down there except Sidney. Vincent, pull-up jumper. That didn't take long either.
Yeah, this is a club that everyone other than their starting 5 guy takes and makes threes. And you have to guard them. They're not going to guard themselves. And Mississippi State's going to have to lock in defensively. These guys could hang 90 of them on them.
Bryant trying to get it in the hands of D. Boss and almost threw it away.
UMass talked a lot in their shoot-around about getting the ball out of the hands of D. Boss. They understand he's the most dangerous guy on this floor.
Coach Kellogg said every time he touches it, we even want to make sure that the dribble is an issue for him. Here's Hood with 3 on the shot clock. Missed a 3. And back comes Williams in a hurry. And just throws up a teardrop, and it goes. Wow. 6-0. Timeout. Just like that for Rick Stansbury. We'll take the timeout, too. We're not even a minute and a half in, and the Minutemen lead 6-0.
What a start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek Kellogg, who was a star in his own right for UMass back in the mid-90s. Now in his 4th year as a head coach, his first 20-plus win season. His team off to a great start, leading 6-0. And here's the full court press. On top of pushing it offensively, they play the same way on defense. Now it's a 2-on-1, and Moultrie didn't look to the basket. He had Sidney underneath there, but brought it back out to DeBost.
How do you miss Renardo Sidney?
You have to be nearsighted.
320 pounds right at the rim, wide open.
He gets his first touch. And now they do throw it away. Bryant, Boss trying to get back on Williams. Williams uses his body very nicely, and it's 8-0.
UMass, 3 of their first 4 makes in this ball game have come within the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. They are very aggressive and very alert to start this ball game.
Sidney does see Moultrie. That's the first basket of the ball game for the Bulldogs.
Well, if you can break the pressure against UMass, you're going to get some good layup opportunities.
Well, that shot took 4 seconds for Morgan to miss it. On the other end, Hood short on a 3.
That is exactly what UMass wants. They want Mississippi State to buy into this same tempo that they're playing offensively.
Putney missed a 3. And now on the cut on the back door, blocked by Putney. DeBost up under and out of bounds to UMass.
Has made a lot of improvement in that program, Brad. Derek Kellogg has since he took over. In his 4th year, he's gone from 12 wins to 12 wins to 15 to 22. And he recruits to his style. John Calipari, his mentor, and he knows the importance of guys that can put that ball in the basket.
8 years with Cal at Memphis after playing for him at UMass. Rick Stansbury, and he admitted since Sunday, a lot of guys play their way into the tournament. We played our way out of the tournament, and they lost to Georgia by 10 points down in New Orleans, and that sealed their fate. Before that, it was still a question mark whether they'd make it or not. Here's a lob underneath to Moultrie. Nice pass. As Jimmy said, you get some easy ones if you can break the press.
Brad, neither team has had time to put together a thorough scouting report, much less absorb it. So this is about how are you going to play. For UMass, They know exactly how they want to play. For Mississippi State, that's kind of been an issue for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Right. Williams on a backdoor cut, got away from Bost again.
He is cat quick. They list him 5'9". There ain't no way. He's probably about 5'7". First team all A-10. He can really score. He has a real joy for the game. Fireball, number 3.
He was definitely the spark plug at the shoot-around today. There wasn't a moment when he wasn't either talking or moving or doing both at the same time.
Yeah.
DeBost on the outside, and it's stripped away, and thought we had a foul call.
Look at Chaz Williams, does a good job. DeBost, boom, see that plant? He takes DeBost 1 step higher. Boy, that's exactly how you teach it. And DeBost bit on that bait, and Chaz Williams was at the rim in the blink of an eye.
I think everybody was waiting for a foul to be called on UMass, and they call it on DeBost, and that drew boos from the fans here. Williams puts up a jump shot, lands on the deck after he missed it. Putney with the basket. The lead goes back to 8 again.
I think they're going to really make DeBost work for his points in this ball game. Jesse Morgan, a big 6'5" sophomore, is checking him right now. And they're not going to let DeBost beat them in this building.
They're doing exactly what their coach told them to do this afternoon, or this morning, I should say. Bryant missed the outside jumper. Rebound off to Carter and ahead to Williams. The lob, again too high for Putney.
On that last jump shot by Bryant, he jumped sideways, and he's the best shooter that Mississippi State has, but no one can jump sideways into a 3-point shot.
Oh boy, now DeBost picks up a cheap foul after missing the outside shot, and that's going to be 2. And with him on the bench, it's not going to make it any easier for Mississippi State. 15:03, fast start for the Minutemen, in front by 8. Yeah. No, I know it is.
5 down.
God, really.
Dun, 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 dun. About a disinterested group. The guys in white.
Sugar's got a towel around his neck, though, and he's about 16 feet away from the coach.
He's in, isn't he? Or did they take him out?
I don't know how he's sweating. How'd he be sweating?
It's hot in here.
Okay.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, but you had to do the open. You weren't sure it was going to go well.
We've taken 11 shots. We've played 5 minutes. 1 every 30 seconds.
Jimmy, we're on about a 96-point pace for UMass right now. I don't know that we've seen 12 points in the first 5 minutes of too many games we've done this year anyway. Rick Stansbury, we talked about what he said about tonight's game. Huge challenge. No one to blame but ourselves for not making the NCAA tournament he's talking about. Most of the time, this time of year, you're trying to play your way in. We basically played our way out. That they did. A month ago, they were ranked 18th in the country. And then they hit a 5-game skid. They lost 6 of 8, and they lost in the SEC tournament to Georgia. And out went the chance for the NCAA. Now in the NIT, you have to refocus, and that's why I said I think Rick's got the toughest job in the building tonight, without a doubt. Not to mention the guys that he's playing are a heck of a ball club, and seemingly at the workout today, we're ready to play and excited to be here. It's going to be a foul on Putney. Mississippi State started 12-1, and then things started to slide, and they went 9-10 from that point on.
Brad, it was tied to their defense. They have just not been good enough defensively to win on the road, to hold on to leads, to get back-to-back stops when a team makes a run at them. And now they're forced to play a zone defense because of the foul trouble to D. Boss.
And D trying to throw one down, fouled by Putney. And that's 2 on Putney. So D. Boss playing with early fouls, and now Putney is as well. That's what we were talking about. 10 extra points a game in the early going. They beat some good teams, as you said. They had quality wins, especially early in the season. And then things started to fall apart a little bit on them.
Yeah, you can't give up 44% field goal defense and expect to win a lot of ball games. I will say this, coming out of the last time out, D. Boston, Terrell Vinson from UMass got into a little bit of a jawing match, and it's almost like D. Boss said, okay,
we're on.
It's game on right now. And they may have just sent a message to D. Boss that maybe you don't want to send, because Vinson and Boss were going eye to eye, and they went at each other for about 30 seconds. And what does that do to D. Boss' competitive fire? I know he told you before the game.
Yep.
What was he saying to you?
I said, he came over and talked to both of us, and I said, D, you know, I think the best chance for you guys to win tonight is if you play great and you get your teammates to do likewise. And he said, I've never played to lose yet, and I'm not planning on doing it tonight.
Exactly. That's who he is. That's why he is an all-SEC performer.
And here he is, and he's bumped by Morgan. So 12-6 our score right now. Here's a look at the 75th anniversary NIT brackets. Last year, Wichita State won it all. Winner over Alabama. Of course, everybody trying to get to New York on March 29th in Madison Square Garden.
There are some good teams just in that bracket right there. Oral Roberts won a ton of ball games this year. Cleveland State, a little bit of a tailspin over the last month, but those guys are a bunch of hard chargers now. It will not be easy to get to New York this year.
15 on the shot clock. Bosch has an opening from 3, and he's short with it. And the shortest guy on the floor with a rebound, Chaz Williams. And he is fast. On a runner off the window. Good looking move by Vincent.
That's good move, and that is just pitiful defense by Mississippi State. That's just simply one pass to the corner and allow a guy to get from 20 feet out all the way to the rim is inexcusable.
Moultrie missed his own shot, but he knew he was off the mark, and he went and got it and slammed it home. 6 for Arnette.
Early, to my eyes, this game has a little bit of a shirts and skins feel to it. Does it to you?
Yes.
The winner stays on the court. The losers have to sit and wait your next turn in.
Boss on a pick and roll. Has to give it up. Moultrie. The extra dish underneath. And it's going to be out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
Whether or not you've had a scouting report or not, you do not go out of control like Wendell Lewis does to the corner and allow a guy to drive right by you. I mean, you talk about a lack of effort and commitment to deleting the drive. You can't do it any better than what Wendell Lewis just did. And that's not a good description is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Wow.
That was an open window, Wendell.
It was.
So Bost will trigger it on the baseline. And going to be a foul on Chaz Williams. Reaching in there, trying to poke it away.
He is really a disruptive little guy for Coach Kellogg to build his program around. Started off his career at Hofstra, which is only about 30 minutes from his hometown and high school there in Brooklyn, New York. But you talk about a vocal kid with personality and passion. He doesn't care if he's in Starkville, Mississippi on Tuesday night in the NIT. He knows there's officials here, there's a TV camera on him, and he's going to play just like he's in the Final Four in New Orleans in 3 weeks.
That's right. The ball's the same size.
Sure it is.
The refs are wearing stripes. Let's go.
Yeah. You've got your alligator loafers on. I mean, everything to him, everything's the same.
Well, there's his long three.
I'm telling you, that's all he knows is there's a ball game, coach. Let's play. Wind me up and watch me go.
And he's got 9 already. And the lead swells to 9.
He just gets a steal from Steele.
Riley for 3. Whoa! Williams went way up to try.
Did you see?
How high did he get trying to slam that thing?
It's worth watching this game for a while, folks, just to watch this kid play. He's 5'7", and he goes up and hangs on the rim.
Watch this on the missed shot. Watch Chaz Williams. I got it. Oh, man.
That is hard to guard. If anyone ever asked me, what do you mean by hard to guard? Just watch number 3 play this game tonight.
Tips, ball, scramble, and Bryant picks it up.
That's another thing you can fit through a hoop. My dingo and Chaz Williams.
Hit 2 basketballs and a large pizza.
Exactly.
Under the 12-minute mark. And all UMass so far.
Can you get it inside and use your size in this game, or are you committed to?
Well, Renardo Sidney right now is 25 feet away from the hoop, so much for that size. Now he gets down the low block, but there's 7 on the shot clock. Boston, the crossover dribble. He'll take it all the way inside.
If Boss can continue to play with only 2 fouls, he could go for 30 tonight. And they've kind of got him jacked up coming out of that timeout and started talking to him because he is alert now.
Mississippi State in the zone right now. Williams throws one up there. Rebound. Nice job by Esho on the offensive glass in his first basket. Now some backcourt pressure again. And going to be a foul on Maxi Esho. That'll be his first. 10:55 remaining in the first half. It's been all UMass so far, and they continue to lead by 9.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Scottrade. See for yourself why so many investors are saying, I'm with Scottrade. And Ford Focus.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, what does he already have, 9 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see it. We've sold him. Mississippi State's going to lose by 20, I'm just telling you. Yeah, just talk about it. Okay. Could you fit Bully through the hoop?
No. I don't think Bully's going through there. At least not 2 of him. That's good. Oh, that's good.
Dingo, man. He's got more mileage. There's my boy. Oh, yeah.
No.
Eli don't tweet. That's his Twitter account. Look at big boy.
Bully's just built just like the owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Chaz Williams, redshirt sophomore, first team All-Atlantic 10. He's shown us why here in the opening stages of this one.
Brad, he put up 29 points against Xavier this year. He had 26 at Temple, and he could go for 30 in this building if Mississippi State doesn't start paying attention to him. He's only about 5'8", but you make the first team all A-10. That league is really, really good. And he has a built-in competitive fire that's hard to find and hard to guard.
The only thing you didn't see was the three-pointer that he hit as well. They've got 4 guys that have more than 50 three-pointers on the year, so they know how to spread out the outside shot as well. It's not just one guy filling it up. But they have done a great job here on the road to jump to an early lead and maintain it.
You just, at some point, make an effort to get the ball inside. That's all I'm asking.
There it is. Sidney missed the first time and the second time, but he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. It's going to be on Esho again. That's his second.
I think part of the downfall of Mississippi State this year, not only tied to their defense, Renardo Sidney is, I think he's listed at 290. I'm going to say he's probably 310 or 320 now. His inability, Brad, to play hard in spurts or for 4 or 5 minutes at a time has also really affected this ball club. And teams have really exposed him defensively. And when your 5 guy can't lock down around that rim, it is hard to, it's just hard to keep points off that board.
There's his first one of the ball game. Averaging, as you saw, just under 10 per game. Averaged 14 last year and 7.5 rebounds. And this year, both of those have fallen off.
State's going to stay in this zone to protect D. Boss because of those foul troubles. And they're going to have to push out on this zone. Again, this club's going to fire 25 threes a game, whether you guard them or not.
Riley on the drive, penetrates into traffic and still scored.
You know, if I'm him, I stay with the number 14 jersey. He's number 4, but he forgot his jersey or lost his jersey or it got stolen or something.
Something happened.
He goes with 14 tonight, therefore no name on the back.
We'll keep you posted. He's Freddie Riley.
And he's another guy that has scored at least 20 points in a game this year. Brett, they have 7 guys that have scored at least 20 in a ball game this year. That might be one of the few teams in the country that can say that.
Right. Baseline 3 goes. That'll help the cause a little bit. Jalen Steele, the best three-point shooter percentage-wise, knocks down his first basket. Renardo Sidney's first foul.
34 Moultrie checks in for UMass. 23 Arnette Moultrie for Mississippi State.
Moultrie comes back in, and Lewis will sit down. Arnette Moultrie had a good start, 6 points early. The rest of the team didn't have much to show for it, but now everybody's trying to contribute. Underneath, that hit and out of bounds. Sidney that time held his ground and got a piece of the ball.
Well, you mentioned Moultrie's start, but since those first few points, he's kind of been guarding himself on the offensive end. He's not really demanding the ball and being active, and this is a kid that's first team All-SEC.
18 double-doubles to lead the conference in that capacity.
Yeah, he could get loose right here.
Nope. They threw it away. Hood threw it away. D-Boss got it back. Now it's Renardo Sidney for the flush. Good job by D-Boss.
D-Boss has at least matched the competitive fire of the little point guard from UMass.
Here he is on Williams. D-Boss got to be careful. Doesn't want that third foul before halftime. Swipes at Riley. Riley may have gotten away with a walk. Went up with the left hand and then tipped it in with the right. Quick second jump by Riley.
That's part of that high field goal percentage defense Mississippi State had against them all year long. Their first shot and second shot defense isn't good.
Moultrie, not a big three-point shooter, but he'll take it. That's only his 7th three-pointer of the year. And it makes it a 4-point game. Boy, that was a big shot.
And as soon as you score against UMass, you better not pat yourself on the backside because this kid is running it right up your backside. It's hard to find him, first of all. He's like that little scat back in football that gets down behind that big offensive line. You can't find him to tackle him. Well, you can't guard this guy because you can't see him either.
And he knocks down the free throw at an 80% clip this year, as a matter of fact. At one point this season, Sidney's going to sit down. He was the guy that fouled Williams, so he's got 2 fouls, as does Boss. One stretch this season, Chaz Williams hit 33 straight free throws. Got his first 2 tonight. This guy's probably never shot a free throw in the state of Mississippi before.
No, he probably has.
Before tonight.
Yeah. You know, when you're only 5'7" and you grew up in Brooklyn, you have to have something about you now that's a little special, some sauce, and he's got it, you know? We saw it as soon as we walked in. We said, wow, look at this kid. He had command of his team in that shoot-around. as all point guards should.
His coach said, doesn't matter to him when he's on the playground in New York in the offseason. He doesn't care if he's playing with pros, ex-pros, guys that played in Europe.
Yeah.
Whatever. Speaking of the NBA, Wednesday night, NBA doubleheader for you, 7 o'clock, 76ers and Pacers at 9:30. The Heat and the Bulls get together at a preview of maybe the Eastern Conference Finals. Who knows? NBA on ESPN tomorrow night. Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes with you here in Starkville. Round 1 of the NIT. And a foul and another turnover. Jalen Steele picks up the foul. So the full court pressure of UMass has gotten to the Bulldogs several times tonight, yet the 8-minute mark, still a 6-point game.
It's a good-looking UMass squad to my eyes. Only one senior in the top 9. They have been tested all season long by the likes of St. Louis and St. Bonaventure, Xavier and Temple, teams that'll be representing the A-10.
T-Boss comes over to help the ball boys, if to say, we got to get this thing done the right way. And man, he rubbed that floor. D's thinking, I don't want to hit that spot the next time I'm coming down court.
You don't want to hit that spot, or you don't want to hit the sticker of the NIT.
I knew you'd get it in.
I had to say it.
I knew you'd get it in the first half, right at the 8-minute mark. Perfect.
There needs to be a movement. And I think there will be in spring from the rules guys that say let's outlaw stickers on the floor from now on. There's no reason for them to be on a college basketball court.
Vincent with a miss. Whoop. Out of control a little bit by DeVille Smith, but it's still going to be Bulldogs ball when we return. 7:37 remaining first half. Mississippi State's got the lead cut down to 6. All right.
Let's get old Bully in here. Bad boy needs a shower, I know that. God, he was grimy.
You just hose him off. Big Shug. I'm going to pick up a foul here because I want to sit down. I'm going to pick up a second foul because I want to sit down again. Inside the foul with Shug.
Oh,
why don't you show Shug and Bully side by side, see if they're separated at birth.
Oh.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Arnette Moultrie.
If we could get him with this. My partner usually trying to bully somebody. Turned the case around on him there. We're bullying Jimmy before the tip-off tonight. There we go.
Well, first of all, he winked at me when I first walked in the building. So, because he remembers me from a couple of years ago.
That's right.
When we got friendly with one another. He weighs over 60 pounds.
He's packed in.
Yeah, he is not going through the rim like my dingo dog back home.
I don't think so.
He is a great mascot.
Eli's only about half his size.
Yeah.
6-point game.
Bully just finished his 4th year of football and basketball on this campus.
So next year he'll be a redshirt senior. Or a 5th-year senior, I should say. There he is. He's got a good seat, too. Of course, it's about the only angle he'd be able to see the game from.
UMass is, for as much as they rely on the three-point shot, they've only made one in this ball game.
And that was Williams.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad sign for Mississippi State to be down 6 to a team that fires threes and they're not hitting them yet.
And that was a transition three, too. They came down the court. He just hoisted one from the top of the key.
Look out.
Lob to Moultrie. Nice pass by Hood.
Wasn't that a great pass by Hood? I mean, about 40 feet away with that kind of accuracy.
Fans starting to get back into it a little bit. They haven't had a chance to cheer much tonight. It's a 4-point game with 6:45 to go.
DeBoss has played probably, what, Brad, 8 or 9 minutes now with 2 fouls?
Yeah.
That's huge for this club.
Vincent outside jumper, and it's good. And there goes the next 3.
Just a matter of time. For a 6'8" kid, he's got 30 made threes at 31%. They can all do it.
Mentioned he's got 30, now 31, and 4 guys have 50 or more. Boss guarded by Farrell. Ball fake by Smith, trying to leave it in the lane. DeBoss tracked it down, luckily, for Mississippi State. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Moultrie. On a fadeaway on the baseline, and he's going to go to the free throw line for 2. And Vincent picks up his second foul.
Brad, you and I both were very impressed with a long pass of Hood. Watch this pass. I mean, that's about 38, 40 feet away, just to the right side of the rim for Moultrie. I think you have to be a really good shooter to make a really good pass like that. And Hood is a kid we haven't talked a lot about. He missed a few games with a knee injury, but he has all the pieces, I think, to be one of the better players to ever come through this campus.
All SEC freshman team for Rodney out of Meridian, Mississippi. Plays over 32 minutes a game, so even though, well, he did start tonight, but there's been a few games recently where Steele has started instead of Hood.
There are really no weaknesses in his game. He's got a skill level that's really hard to find for a 6'8" kid. His dad's a principal, his mom's a teacher. He's very well grounded. He's got a chance now.
Oh, all alone underneath. Oh, and a missed slam by Carter. Mississippi State got a break there. Putney, fadeaway jumper, got it. Putney, a blade at 185 pounds, but 6'9", and he's got a good outside shot. Moultrie's got 2 threes tonight. He had 6 all year.
We've probably seen Mississippi State in person now. This is our 4th time. I don't ever remember him taking a 3-point shot.
I don't either. Now whistle, foul underneath is going to be on Wendell Lewis.
Well, Mississippi State really taking ball fakes in this game. And Moultrie's wide open. I mean, you can't fault UMass. The scouting report says the guy doesn't take threes, so you can recover late to a kid like that.
Right. Yeah, when he takes one about every 6 games, you don't figure he's going to make 2 in the first half.
No, you do not. No, he's a kid that I think will make an NBA roster someday, but he is not ready for that league yet. He needs to come right back here to Starkville next year.
Gerardo Sidney, good position by the big fella to tip that rebound to himself. 5-point game. Bulldogs can get a little bit closer. They have never led, and they've been down by as many as 10. Bost, he's got a 3 look. Came out on him. And a rebound to Putney. Williams flying down court. Lobs ahead. Loose ball. Putney puts it in.
Oh, man, that kid. No, it's hard to box off someone built like Paris Hilton, and that's kind of what you're dealing with. Because this guy, you can't find Williams because he's 5'7". You can't find him because he's 6'9" and 180. And look, seriously, he is 6'9" and 180. And he's active and he's thin, but he's a quick jumper. He plays really hard. The one film that I got to watch on these guys, and he can cause problems because he is so thin.
I called him a blade. That's sideways. You can't see him.
No.
Bill Smith missed the free throw. So right now, Mississippi State 4 out of 7 from the stripe. They're a good free throw shooting team as a team, almost 71%. DeVille Smith, the freshman out of Jackson, Mississippi, and he missed them both.
Brady's had a tough year. He's been battling with some dizziness all year long and really
memory problems and things. Yeah. Another lob. This time comes right to Sydney. Turnover by UMass.
They're going to continue to throw it, though. Kind of like Kentucky in that you get unattached to one of their jumpers around the rim. They're going to throw that lob now.
Under the 4-minute mark, 7-point UMass advantage. Boston, they are chasing him every place he goes. Moultrie, the kick out and threw it away. Another Mississippi State turnover when they had a chance to close the gap. They trail by 7 with 3:45 remaining first half. Why do we care about that?
That's the play-in game.
That's on True TV. Oh, our game. Oh, I thought you said.
No.
Who'd you say? You just said Western.
That's a play-in game, a first-round game. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
We can't
stay away
say half
from that. Yeah.
We just thought we'd throw out the little part we could say.
Yeah.
LaFonso and Mike Yam, is that what you said? You sure it's not Coach? Coach was there in the pregame.
Yeah, he was.
Coachman. All right. Okay. Look at Big Sid. It's dripping right out of his eye. Crying. Oh, I guess that's his forehead. No, that's Mount Rushmore. Never mind.
It ain't Paris Hilton.
That's a beautiful one. It's just it. There's nothing you can call it. This side, because I said region one time, they said it's not a region. Of course, that was 15 years ago. I could probably get away with it now. Okay. So let me hear him.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Apparently, the president didn't want to come to Starkville. Oh, why? Good game. 32-25.
Plenty of seats.
Plenty of seats available. They could have sat right
here by us.
Absolutely.
Brad, that is huge news with Fab Melo not playing in this NCAA tournament. I don't think they get out of the East region now. And I wasn't sure they were a sure bet to do it anyways, but now I think Vanderbilt is the team now built to beat Syracuse if Syracuse even gets to the Sweet 16. If they go with Musa Keita or Raheem Christmas at that 5 spot, they are not as good offensively or defensively. They cannot replace Fab Melo. It's not going to happen.
Nice feed inside. Good ball movement coming out of that timeout by UMass, and they get it to Sean Carter, their big guy underneath, for his first basket.
Now the whole nation is scrambling to get their bracket that they've already turned in to get it back, and now maybe it's Florida State that comes out of there, or Ohio State or Vanderbilt, but Syracuse just does not look the same when that kid's not on the floor.
DeBoss fed it inside to Wendell Lewis, and he lost it going up. I don't think they're going to give him a shot attempt on that one. They just kind of sailed away on it. And then the 3 on the other end goes for Javon Farrell. And just like that, as Mississippi State headed down not only to single digits, but with a chance to get it down to 3 or 4, and now it's back to 12, the biggest lead.
Well, State is not guarding. They're at least not guarding with a purpose and a passion. UMass able to take that ball anywhere they want on this floor right now.
Hood had it partially blocked. Trying to get over there to get the rebound is Bryant, but it comes over to the Minutemen. And now the steal by Bryant, so he stayed with it. Brian Bryant stayed with that the whole time, trying to come up with a loose ball on both ends, and finally did. Boss for three. Got it. And at the 2-minute mark, that does get it back to single digits. See if Mississippi State can come up with a stop, and maybe a stop and a score before the break.
Again, so important for D. Boss not to pick up his third foul. He's done a beautiful job of playing with two for about 11 or 12 minutes.
Underneath, scoop shot with a left hand by Farrell. After knocking down the three, he gets a deuce underneath, and his coach calls a quick timeout as the lead at 11, 39-28. The winner of this one, as we take a look at our 75th anniversary bracket, winner of this one meets the winner of the Seton Hall Stony Brook game, and that is going on that one tipped up about 15 minutes after we did. Drexel, UCF, St. Joe's, and Northern Iowa in games coming up tomorrow night. And the championship March 29th at the Garden, 7 o'clock on ESPN2.
Well, that's a good Drexel ball club that I think had a lot of pieces to get in that NCAA tournament, and they didn't do it. Again, Brad, the inability to defend the rim by Mississippi State has been their down call all season long. I mean, that's just a very simple, against the zone, get the ball to the middle of the zone, and on one bounce get all the way to the rim without any resistance. And if you can't make those kind of stops back to back to back, UMass is going to continue to build this lead. I think it's just that simple.
Let's put it this way, on the all first round NIT defensive team, Wendell Lewis is not there so far.
Not right now. He is not. He's not on the ballot.
Now to a minute 35. Hood on the dribble. You have to be careful out there with Putney on him. And trying to get it to Moultrie, threw it away. And Riley going the other way. It's a 3-on-2. Riley missed though, and Hood's going to get the rebound, an outlet to Bost. Bryant slides in, missed the shot. Nobody there for the rebound. I thought Moultrie had a good shot at maybe cleaning that miss up. And we got a walk on the other end. And again, full court pressure. Derek Kellogg's not backing off the Bulldogs at all.
You know, he's got a bunch of guys that are long-armed and quick and athletic. We go back to our one-on-one. It was speed versus size, and this club is built to run and shoot threes. They're built to press.
And while Moultrie's had a good first half, the size has not been a factor.
No, it has not.
For Mississippi State.
I mean, he's scoring his points facing the rim as opposed to right around the rim.
He's already hit 2 threes, which he's only done one other time this year. This time he works it inside, missed the shot. The battle for the rebound. Bryant stepped on the baseline.
UMass could very well go 2 for 1 right now. I mean, they've scored a lot in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock, and you look up right now, they got a chance to do it.
Well, they've got twice as many points in the paint as Mississippi State, 24-12 right now. 45 seconds to go in the half.
Looked like Derek told his point guard, slow this thing down and let's make sure we get a good shot. Just by that pace right there, they're not going to try to go 2 for 1.
He also put Putney down too to make sure he didn't get a third foul, but he puts him back out there now for offensive purposes. Williams gets it inside, and again.
Oh my.
That's 3 times now that Farrell has scored easily.
Just the simplest little eyebrow fake.
Well, Putney did pick up his 3rd foul. Didn't need to. Trying to stay with Moultrie on a perfect pass from D. Boston. A chance for a 3-point play for Arnette.
This is not the same play, although it's going to look like the same play. The ball's going to get inside the zone. A little bit of a ball fake, an eyebrow fake. That's just not really wanting to guard.
Well, it's Wendell Lewis again. I don't mean to pick on the guy.
Well, but we're just calling it like it is. Yeah. I mean, that's hard to ignore. That is hard to ignore.
Moultrie does get a 3-point play out of it. So a high-scoring first half for Arnette Moultrie, and it's a good thing, or there'd be a lot worse than 10 points than it is right now. 18 first-half points for Moultrie. Final shot will be for the Minutemen. Chaz Williams on the dribble with Time ticking down, and now with a little over 5 seconds on the move, he's going to get it out to Riley. Long three. Williams, midair, put it back up there, and almost got it. So we said it was going to be quick pace for UMass. Definitely was. And they lead by 10 on the road. 41-31 is our halftime score. Mike Yam, Alfonso Ellis in the studio. It's all yours, guys. All right. Well, it's not moving now. You're watching the 75th anniversary of the NIT tournament in round one as UMass takes on Mississippi State. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our action. You're watching the 75th anniversary of the NIT tournament. First round action, UMass on the road in Starkville against the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. All college basketball games on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN3 are streaming live on Watch ESPN all season long. Download the Watch ESPN app today on the App Store or Android Market, or visit WatchESPN.com. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our action right after these messages. Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes were at halftime here in Starkville. Chaz Williams has led the Minutemen to a 10-point lead, 41-31 at the break in round one of the NIT, leading Mississippi State. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our action right after these messages.
Hey, buddy. Hello? Yes. I think so, don't you? I mean, that's a joke. Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay. That one was the one right there.
The one on the baseline was even worse. The guy that faked the shot on the baseline over there.
Yeah.
And then he just let him walk by him.
Yeah. Yeah, he just walked out there.
Oh, geez.
No, I thought it was Terrell Vinson. I thought it was.
Yeah, it's good. Down 8 rebounds. Chaz Williams has more rebounds than Arnette, Moultrie, and Renardo Sidney. I think that's noteworthy.
This is it.
This is it. Look at this.
Good gracious.
Beautiful. Yeah, if you got time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the worst one, almost.
The other angle's better on that. Yes. Well,
I don't drink anymore. I don't drink any less either. I may just stay out until the flight leaves tomorrow. I should be able to find something to do till 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning in Starkville, shouldn't I?
Wendell, you bundle of energy.
You big goof. I bet she's Renardo's roommate. Wendell Lewis.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
Well,
we
then
said.
that's what we've been talking about. I guess they feel the same way we do. Well, so are they.
I just wouldn't play him. You kidding me?
I'd start to make a statement for next year if I was him, if there's a next year. Nope. No. I know I saw her before the game, but I did not. I only saw her from afar.
Some bad feelings going on there.
All right.
I thought the first half was a fun first half.
I thought there was some Emmy material in there.
Fun moments. Paris Hilton, Bully.
Finally got a decent director.
This game is streaming live on your computer, tablet, or smartphone via WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app.
And we welcome you back to the 75th anniversary of the NIT. First round action here from Starkville, Mississippi, where the hometown Bulldogs, a higher seed, trailing the Minutemen of UMass by 10, 41-31. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes. UMass jumped out to an 8-0 lead. They really never turned around and looked back. And I think, Jimmy, one of the problems we said in the first half of the season compared to the second half was Mississippi State's defense, and that's showing up again tonight.
Lack of. UMass is tracking to take 80 shots in this game. 80. That's an incredibly high number. Mississippi State's inability to defend around the rim is kind of mind-boggling. It's what's been their problem all season long in conference play. And if you can't get stops around the rim, you are not going to beat good teams, bad teams, or average teams. And that's what Mississippi State is up against right now. That lack of effort play right there by Wendell Lewis early just kind of set the tone in my eyes of how much urgency Mississippi State's playing with in this game.
Well, our speed and size, it really hasn't mattered. -8 on the rebounding for Mississippi State, so 12 points in the paint. And the Minutemen, on average, they force about 17 turnovers a game, and they get about 9 steals a game. They turn them into 21 points, generally speaking, over the course of a game. They're on pace for that, only better. This is one guy that at least put points up in the first half, Arnette Moultrie, and couldn't there to open up the second half.
Wow. You run a set scoring play coming out of the halftime and you miss a 2-foot shot. You're Rick Stansberry. What do you do?
Kind of got your hands up in the air as if He's shaking his head right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's shaking it at us or just shaking it in general, but. And that shot rims out. Ryan Bryant with a rebound. D-Boss played a good portion of that first half with 2 fouls and was playing well enough not to get a third. Now that time they get Moultrie down low and he doesn't miss. A chance for a 3-point play.
Brad, he had a really good first half, Arnette Moultrie. He just missed the first one right out of the halftime, but you know, Sidney's got a good feel for the game. He does have that about him. He's got a good set of soft hands, a good passer, good vision. That time it all came together for him.
Moultrie, 3-point play. That one a layup, but in the first half, Moultrie had 5 dunks and 2 threes. I mean, feast or famine, I guess, for him. Yeah, and then the 2 free throws.
To me, no one other than Moultrie and D-Boss are going to do anything in this ball game. And are those 2 guys alone going to be good enough to get them to the next round?
Well, D got it to Moultrie on the break and missed the shot, and nobody there to help. And no foul called, and Moultrie still picking himself off the floor on the other end. Meanwhile, Putney tried to throw it down on the baseline, and he ripped the net and the rim. So Minutemen turn it over.
Well, the net's still stuck.
Yeah,
the
they're
officials need to see it and get it unstuck.
Right. It's okay right now while the ball's on this end, but once they spot that, they've got to stop it. Bryant with a slam. Woo. Ryan Bryant airborne. Now finally, Ray Tilly and Tim Gaddis notice the net on the other end.
I mean, Bryant, that's what he does. He's a slasher and a driver to scores, not a 3-point shooter.
He went through and over everybody, and all of a sudden back to a 5-point game. So they've cut the lead in half since halftime in the opening minute and 50 seconds. Chaz Williams in traffic, reverse layup.
Working off of a 5-on-1 action, Chaz Williams brings his 5 guy up to set an on-ball screen, which ultimately drags Renardo Sidney into the play as a defender.
Bryant to Sidney. He'll kick it cross court. And now back on top to Bost. D has yet to hit double figures, has 1 3 in the ball game. 7 points in the first half. Averaging almost 16 a game. 7 on the shot clock. Here's a long 3 by Hood, and you got it.
That's the guy that could help D-Boss and Arnette Moultrie. He's really a solid player. Good size.
They got this close once at about the midway point of the first half, down to 4. Nice extra pass by the little guy to Carter. And that might be the first assist for Williams. He had 4 rebounds and 3 steals, but he didn't have an assist in the first half.
Which is unusual because he comes in averaging almost 9 over the last 6 ball games, but he's been able to get his own in this game. He hasn't had to pass.
Here he comes with a 3-on-2. There's the lob. That'll be an assist. Carter with the basket. So UMass has an answer as soon as the Bulldogs cut it to 4. And now Bost has it stripped from behind by Pitney. Putney trying to get it back. Loose ball all over the place. Williams a pull-up 3. There's only 4 guys on one end of the court and a 3-pointer by Chaz Williams.
Man. What just happened?
I'm not even sure.
What just happened?
It looked like stop action, like you and I were the only ones watching the game. There was only 4 guys playing the game.
Wow.
It got down to 4. It is back to 11. And a timeout after an 8-2 Bulldog run, 7 straight for the Minutemen. Crazy.
What'd you just say?
I don't know.
That ended up 4-on-2 or 2-on-4 or something.
2-on-2, I think.
There was 3 Mississippi State guys out here watching.
It was 2-on-2, I think. When I looked down, I only saw 4 guys. Oh. An 8-2 run by Mississippi State, a 7-0 run by UMass, and it went from a 4-point game to an 11-point game. That's what I was trying to say.
It was good. No, you had it right. It's an entertaining thing to watch.
Seeing some odd basketball, if nothing else.
Odd.
Why, that's odd.
Let's talk Derek Kellogg again. Played for Calipari. I don't know.
Who's leading the Stony Brook Seton Hall game? Oh, okay. Well, as long as I can hear it then. Oh, Williams got 2 assists now, both in the first couple minutes.
Moultrie.
16,
Yeah.
16, 5, 2, and 3. That's not a bad game for a little guy.
That's what he has right now.
16 points, 5 rebounds,
Wow.
2 assists, 3 steals. Arnette, meanwhile, 21 points, 3 rebounds.
That's the long and short of it right there.
Pretty soon, Chaz Williams will have more rebounds than Renardo Sidney and Arnette Moultrie combined. I'm waiting on it. Not going to say it till I'm sure.
He's one away right now from tying it.
I know.
Come on, everybody.
Get excited. Go Bulldogs. Go Bulldogs.
Where's Bully when you need him?
He probably went home.
Is that?
All right, Mike, thanks. So the other half of our bracket, a closer game than we've got right now. 2-point game, Seton Hall and Stony Brook. We've got an 11-point game, which just swung completely in the last about 40 seconds after Mississippi State had cut it to 4. UMass came down. Chaz Williams hit a 3. Moultrie had it blocked. He's going to get a deuce out of that. It's going to be a goaltending call. So Moultrie has got 23.
Yeah, there is very little resistance around the rim by either ball club defensively. And Moultrie's just doing anything he wants inside. We saw the package at halftime. That's what UMass did to Mississippi State in the first half.
Baseline drive, the pass inside to Carter, and he's fouled by either Hood or Sidney. They're going to call this one on Hood. That'll be his first. 9-point game, 15:45 to play in Starkville.
That's great defense.
Okay, this is the one I want to see. Okay. Okay. Boom, bang, boom. Okay, it was 3-on-2. I thought it was only 2 guys back.
3-on-2. Yes. Yeah, that's good. That works. He's 1 of 3, right? You talk about the Walters kid from South Dakota State.
Now that he has 16 points, it works.
Yeah. Okay. Jackrabbits play the Baylor Bears. Yeah.
Well, depends. Speed against size.
It is.
UMass by 9, 15:45 remaining in the ball game. Let's take you back to about a 1-minute stretch, maybe not even that much. Chaz Williams, when Mississippi State had cut it to 4. Reverse layup off the window. Then he gets his first assist to Sean Carter. Then he comes down the lob again to Carter, who goes up and under. And then the strangest play of the ball game. Just about everybody's on one end of the court. The loose ball comes down. Chaz Williams, it's actually a 3-on-2. I thought it was a 2-on-2, and he buries a 3. So it went from a 4-point game to an 11-point game just as fast as we can show you those replays.
He's really fun to watch. Hard to guard, fun to watch.
He averages 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists per ball game, and only a couple other guys in the country can make that claim.
He's in rare company, and those are numbers that you have to really bring it every night, Brad, to affect the ball game as a scorer, as a passer, and as a rebounder. He's getting over 4 rebounds a game, and he's 5'8". That Walters kid from South Dakota State there at the right side of the graphic, he's in the NCAA tournament. He is really, really a terrific basketball player. They put him in a lot of pick and rolls. He's a master at reading it. That South Dakota State team shoots a ton of threes off of that action, and Baylor better be ready to play against South Dakota State. I'm just telling you that right now.
The Jackrabbits and the Bears. Here the Bulldogs trailing the Minutemen and have the entire game. It was an 8-0 start for UMass. And really there hasn't been that much separation. Twice now Mississippi State has cut it to 4. Once in the first half, once in this half, right before we showed you that last sequence when it turned around in a hurry. Bernardo Sidney takes a 3 off the mark. Farrell brings it down for UMass. Williams gave up a 3. Now he takes a step closer and buries it. Guess he knew where he wanted to be on the floor.
Well, it pretty much let him do anything he wants. I mean, that's an unguarded 3. A little bit of a ball fake, and then he dribbles himself into a really good look.
19 now for Chaz, as he has 3 threes in the ball game. First team All-Atlantic 10 performer, showing us why.
I'm telling you, he's going to hit that mark. He had 29 against Xavier, which is a really good club. He had 26 at Temple. If he can put those numbers up on those 2 clubs, he could go for 30 in this one.
In close, Hood can't connect, rimmed out on him. That outside jumper is short by Jesse Morgan. And that's a sure thing. 25 for Moultrie.
Brad, I know it's hard to think you're going to be in the NCAA tournament and then not make it, and 2 days later you're playing in the NIT, but man, just the passion and the effort and the intensity in this building has really been disappointing. And UMass has brought more of that than Mississippi State, and that's why they're up 55-43, getting ready to add on to it.
No doubt. Bernardo Sidney picks up the foul. Rick Stansberry knows exactly what Jimmy's talking about. First round of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues tomorrow on True TV, beginning at 6:30. For more information on tournament game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. With Jimmy Dykes, Brad Nessler, with you from Humphrey Coliseum of Starkville, Mississippi. We've been here many times when the games were big, and earlier this season, Mississippi State had a 13-point lead on top-ranked Kentucky in this building and let it slip away. They let the second half of their season slip away, too, to be quite honest with you. That's why they're not in the NCAA tournament. They were basically a lock about 2 weeks ago.
And they were as accurate as Joe Lunardi has ever been this year. I think he missed on one team. As late Saturday night, he still had Mississippi State in. And then, boom, bracket pops up on Sunday afternoon.
No longer in.
In the NIT.
After losing to Georgia in the SEC tournament in New Orleans by 10. That sort of sealed the fate.
It did. You gave the selection committee another reason to keep you out of the tournament. That's all you're looking for at that point. He walked, didn't he?
Now to get his own rebound is Moultrie. Comes off to UMass. Chaz Williams through everybody with another teardrop. This one doesn't fall. And Lewis with a rebound to Bost. Pull-up jumper goes for Jalen Steele.
I'm telling you, you can get any shot you want in this ball game about any time. And it's going both ways right now.
As you said earlier, shirts versus skins, and who's got next? Right now, Minutemen got next.
Yes, they do.
Leading by 12. Moultrie in traffic. The extra pass to Lewis. This looks like NBA All-Star game right now. Not that the NBA All-Star game isn't fun to watch, but nobody plays defense there either.
No, not at all.
And still, it's a 10-point lead. That's one thing UMass has been able to do for Derek Kellogg is, for the most part, keep a double-digit lead.
Derek Kellogg keeps his guys in a press as much as he can because he knows if he backs off of it, his guys will get right into the same rhythm and effort level that Mississippi State's playing with. Pressing makes you play hard or you're going to get burned, and Derek Kellogg knows it, and he's going to stay with it. I understand Mississippi State is on spring break. It's not a big crowd, a disappointment, but man, at some point, just your own individual pride and competitive spirit and want to and desire and all those things have to come into play. I think Rick Stansbury's hoping for the same thing with 13 minutes to go.
Absolutely. I'm not sure what the hang-up is right now. I guess just a wet spot on the floor again. Inbounds pass knocked back right to the guy that threw it in, Devon Farrell.
It's been a very consistent Mississippi State program under Rick Stansbury. Only Kentucky and Florida have won more SEC games over the last 10 years than the Mississippi State Bulldogs. That's hard to do.
There they're showing a little Bulldog effort on that time. Back-to-back blocks on Maxie Esho. A chance to get it back to single digits. Esho picks up the foul on the other end. Now, like you were talking about, we've been here a lot. We've seen Rick coach for 14 years, close to 300 wins, 9 20-plus win seasons. He's been to NCAAs, he's been to NITs. They've been to a lot of postseason. They've had huge wins here. They've had disappointing losses here. And, you know, people are starting to question whether or not about his job security and all that. He didn't even want to talk about it the other day. He said, hey, I'm just going to try to get my guys ready. I'm not going to talk about all that garbage. And we hate to bring it up too, but fact is, today another friend of ours in the SEC lost his job. Darren Horn, South Carolina, after a disappointing year for the Gamecocks. Matt Doherty was relieved of his duties at SMU today. And
it's that time of the year. And I understand fan bases getting impatient. Darren Horn in his 4th season, no NCAAs, just no postseason play going on there. And you only win 2 games and you have a losing record like they did this year of 10-21, then that gives you reason if you're making that call to say, you know what, we need to go another direction. Darren's a good man, a good family man. He'll land on his feet somewhere, but I think it's a good South Carolina job waiting to happen for somebody, and I think head coach of Wichita State, Greg Marshall, will be the first guy that has the opportunity to say no to that. He's from that part of the country, and
he's going to be a hot commodity.
He can flat out coach now.
Bost went coast to coast. D. Bost has said to us, if you missed it earlier, we talked about it. I never played a game yet that I planned to lose, and I don't plan on losing tonight. He's cut it to 7. Almost came up with another steal, but this is going to be a foul on Lewis.
Well, D. Bost can really score, Brad. He's a legitimate 6'3". If you're just now watching from up in the East tonight, you're an Atlantic 10 fan. D. Bost has scored a ton of points in his career, and he can get his own shot. He works hard, good off of on-ball screening action, can shoot the 3, and he plays really, really hard. And it's not easy to continue to play with a hard motor when you're a senior and you see your last chance of getting the NCAAs slip right through your hands over the last 2 weeks.
He leads this team in assists as he always had. Came in with 620 to be the all-time leader in Mississippi State school history. Had 65 steals. That was tops. He's their top 3-point shooter. He's one of the top scoring active leaders in the SEC in the top 5. And he has always played hard in the 4 years we've been watching him, the senior out of Concord, North Carolina.
You know, he's kind of a scoring guard is what he is to me. And projecting him as a guy that could maybe make an NBA roster, he's going to get a look because he's had such a terrific career and you like his size. I don't know if he can defend at all. First of all, that point guard spot that he would have to. He only weighs about 175 pounds. Boy, guards in that league can just go get right into him.
And on the inbound play, nobody cut off Putney. He's got another easy one. Bost, a quick pass ahead to Lewis. Now to Hood. Hood's going to put it straight up there, try to go get his own miss. Lewis did get his miss, and then missed from 2 feet away.
You know,
There's been too many of those tonight.
Yeah, Brad, and you know what? If you're not engaged on the defensive end and rebounding-wise, you're not engaged around the rim as well as an offensive player either, and it showed up.
Steal, let's fly. Now they got Carter back there. Morgan doesn't find him. He finally does after driving the length of the floor.
Terry Kellogg immediately on his guys about the press. And they will give you some different flavors of it, some different looks. They have not been able to get the ball out of D. Boss' hands. He's handled it well.
He's going to take a three. Got it. 13 for Boss.
And the trend continues. You can get any shot you want in this ball game after 2 or 3 passes.
That one's short. D. Boss will track down the loose rebound. I mentioned he plays more minutes than just about anybody else in the conference. He looks a little bit tired right now, but he's still going as full blast as he can. Here's Putney with a rebound on a miss. Almost the midway point of the second half. 8-point ball game.
Brad, D. Boss averaged almost 38 minutes a game in conference play. That's an incredibly high number.
Right now, he just takes a quick breather to hold on to the ball for a second, wait for his teammates to get down into the front court. That's the slowest we've seen either team. Looked like everybody wanted to get about 12 seconds worth of breathing there. Now Boss trying to get rid of it, gets it to Moultrie, goes baseline, and is fouled.
He can post drive you now. That's one of the probably the strength of Moultrie is a post drive. And there's your guy giving it all like he told you he was going to do.
First time we've seen him holding those shorts tonight, bent over. He is tired, but he's still going as full blast as possible. 8-point game.
Yeah.
I don't know if we get a few timeouts near the end if it gets close or something. Yeah. I don't know. Is Scott Strickland here, the AD? Okay.
I hadn't seen him all night.
I haven't seen him. Usually comes over and says hello. I was just going to say, showing him first, that could be, and a new hire today, blah, blah, blah. All right. Yeah, really. We'd be already out of here. I don't think Jimmy knew that. Did you tell Jimmy?
What happened?
Remember when Jeff was saying the last time he was here, the guy took off, the clock operator took off to go to the bathroom or something, then turned the clock on?
He did
the same thing tonight.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm looking up there, and there's still 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Good find. Yeah.
We don't say that once you're an AD. Well, Mike, that Seton Hall Stony Brook game's been close really throughout. Not the same matchup here. Mississippi State's trailed from the opening 8 points. UMass had an 8-0 lead. At halftime, it was a 10-point cushion. Mississippi State got it down to 4 at one point here in the second half, then let it slip away again, but still, it's in single digits and still in doubt. Bulldogs with the ball trailing by 8. Tough catch in traffic by Arnette Moultrie. D-Boss gets it back from him and fires an air ball, but Bryant was there twice to get the score.
Only the 5th offensive rebound in this game for Mississippi State. And as poorly as they've played, 11 turnovers in the game, they are still in this thing for sure.
Within 6 at the midway point. Three-pointer, no good. Putney off the backside, goes right back up with it. He misses. Bulldogs had a hand on the rebound, and UMass stepped on the baseline when they pulled it down. So here's Mississippi State trailing by 6. Opportunity to get it back to 4 or less again.
One of those games, if you're UMass, you should be up 12, 14 points right now because Mississippi State has not played well. And now Mississippi State's in a spot where they can just get this building going a little bit for a couple of minutes. Minutemen could be in trouble, and Derek Kellogg knows it. The great point guards under John Calipari started with Derek Kellogg. Went from Derek Kellogg to Tyreek Evans to Derrick Rose to John Wall to Brandon Knight. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, well, that's good.
He was a good one now. He wasn't in that category, but
he was all A10 and 95.
That's right, he'd fight you now.
Steal, that was a big 3, but kept alive by Bryant again. Bryant with the offensive rebound, but he missed. And here comes Chaz Williams 2-on-1 with Riley. Look out. Riley found the handle. Didn't find the basket, though.
I know, I like this ball going back inside to Moultrie. I mean, he has had his way.
Here he is on the outside. Trying another long ball.
Oh, look out. Ouch.
Chaz Williams went down bad on that rebound.
No. That's not how it's supposed to bend, is it, partner?
Not at all. He was a mile high again. And his size, it makes it look like he's even that much higher in the air. We're going to get the trainer, Dave McCluskey's coming out. And he's up, he's walking around. Didn't think that was going to be happening. Oh, man. It's good to be young and flexible, I guess. He's still out there, and he's not coming off.
That is really something.
And look at guys on the other team. Rick Stansbury was out there to make sure he was okay. Moultrie and some of the other guys have come up to make sure. They know how hard he plays and what a competitor he is. And now we see that he's the rubber band man, I guess. Steele rips the free throw.
He's continuing to drag that left leg around, trying to walk it off. And how effective will he be this remaining 8:53?
Steele, a 91% free throw shooter. And he's got it down to 4 again. 62, 58, 8:50 to go. Little life in the hump now, the building. Humphrey Coliseum, Jimmy said, everybody on spring break, so it's not a huge crowd by any stretch, but finally they're making some noise. Williams missed the three-pointer. The last time it was a 2-point game, it was 2-0. Moultrie. D-Boss for 3. Got it! Down to 1. Timeout. (15-4) Bulldog run.
It's been Moultrie and D-Boss all game long, and Chaz Williams, Brad, because he's only 5'8", he really can't double down on Moultrie because it serves no purpose. I mean, he goes down there and you can just throw right back over the top of him. Then he's too small to close out on D-Boss. And Derek Kellogg needs to make that adjustment with Chaz Williams right now in that UMass huddle. From now on, you stay attached to D-Boss because you're too small to go down and help as a dig down defender anyway.
41 of Mississippi State's 61 points have come from D-Boss or Arnette Moultrie, their 2 first-team All-SEC performers. And you can see Chaz Williams limping into the backcourt. And now the Minutemen limping with a 1-point lead after being up by as many as 12 in the first half, 14 in the second half.
Brad, this is on UMass as much as anything else. They had a chance to push this thing out to 14-16 and didn't do it.
And now Bryant with a steal and a lay-in. 17-4 run. Mississippi State in front for the first time tonight. Williams misses a three. Putney puts it back up there. DeBoss with a rebound, and he's bumped by Williams. His third foul. What a turnaround. Mississippi State came from nowhere. Ryan Bryant with a steal, going coast to coast, laying it in. And the Bulldogs on their home floor have got a 1-point lead.
When you flew out of the nest, you made a mistake, flew all the way back.
Okay. All right. Right. Who's in Sports Center? Or is it Mike? Oh, it's Mike. Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay.
One-point game.
Yeah. It be what it be.
UMass just dogged around and let them stick around in this thing.
Yeah, they sure did.
Feeling it.
Jimmy's starting to feel it. What's it feel like? Feels like the Final Four. Oh, come on, man. Right.
DeBoss and Moultrie.
My guy, DeBoss.
Shugstone in three.
All right, Mike. So Josh Freeman's going to be a happy quarterback. Greg Schiano on the Bucks with a lot of money under the salary cap. Just blew a bunch of it. Not blew a bunch of it. Spent a bunch of it with Vincent Jackson. Here on a 17-4 run, Mississippi State is taking the lead for the first time of the ball game. Moultrie blocked by Putney, and then the foul to boot on either Lewis or Moultrie. It's going to be on Lewis.
Run a little back screen action. DeBoss being the screener from Moultrie on the block. A two-man game. Moultrie never got his feet underneath him and exploded up. He didn't jump 6 inches off the floor that time, and as a result, gets sent right back his way.
Jazz Williams on the dribble. He's been sensational tonight, as he has been all season long. First team All-Atlantic 10 performer. Here's Carter in the paint with a hook. A little bit short. Lewis holds on to the rebound. 7-minute mark. And the Bulldogs at home leading by 1.
Derek Kellogg told us today in the first couple of minutes of the conversation, when we make threes, we're pretty good. And right now they're at 26% in this ball game, 5 for 19.
When they force turnovers and make threes, they're really good.
Yeah.
And right now they forced a bunch in the first half and hit some threes, and now neither's working for them. Here's Williams wide open for a triple, and that's off the mark as well. Bosch tips the rebound to Bryant. D-Boss said, I want to play one more time at Humphrey Coliseum. I'm not done playing. He's not. 6:25 to go. His team in front. And here he goes with a kick out to Moultrie. Moultrie trying a three. That's 4 threes he's tried tonight. He hit his first 2. And Bryant battling with Putney. The tie-up's going to go to the Minutemen.
Brad, I don't know why Moultrie is the spotted up shooter in the corner. And that's not what he does. I know he's made one tonight.
2.
But that was a design play, and Moultrie is not the guy you want in that opposite corner. It should be the Jalen Steele's their best shooter.
Right. If it's out on top, should be D-Boss.
Yep.
Williams in traffic. He kicks out for another 3. Putney keeps it alive. Whoop. Pass. A little long. They saved it from being an over and back. And now the reverse layup. Carter gets the miss, and he gets hammered underneath by Lewis. And Lewis has got 4 fouls.
That's only the 10th team foul in this game by Mississippi State. They haven't been close enough a lot of times to foul sometimes. That's not a good sign.
Sean Carter started his career in college way back 4 years ago at Oregon State. Redshirt senior, and he's had a good second half. 11 points in the game, 9 of them have come in the second half.
Almost half of his makes on the year are dunks. What he does, he knows his role. The only guy in that top 8 to not attempt a 3.
He had 49 dunks coming in. He's had at least a couple tonight. Here's Putney with those long arms trying to tip it to himself, and he couldn't quite pull it off. So we have our first tie, Jimmy Joe, of the ball game, 63 apiece.
Well, if you weren't real excited as a player to begin this game, you should be real excited right now with 5:50 to go and a tie ball game. If this doesn't get you going, then there's something wrong with your ticker.
Bryant thought about it. Wow. Should have thought longer. He's a 32% three-point shooter, and that one showed why, I think. Nice drive by Putney, who's got a career high in rebounds tonight to go with 10 points. So 10 points, 14 boards for Putney, and UMass back in front by 1.
He has a slithery game about him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He utilized the 2-foot jump step as well as you can.
The jump step for him at 2 steps covers a lot of ground.
It does.
Moultrie, quick first step around Carter. Got the basket and 1.
Brad, that is what he does best. Out of everything he's shown us tonight, he is a very good post driver. He catches that ball, and the ability to avoid the hot hands of Chaz Williams at the end of the play. Watch this right here. Boom. Williams he has a beeline for that basketball, and Moultrie at 6'11" does a good job of keeping it away from him.
Moultrie trying to match his career high with his free throw, and more importantly, give his team the lead back. 28 for Moultrie. And a 1-point Mississippi State lead 5 minutes to go. The size of Moultrie. We talked about size versus speed. Ronaldo Sidney has barely played in the second half, but it's been Moultrie and Bost that have kept them in the game and in front at this point. That should have been maybe a palm job, but instead it's a 3-pointer by Morgan. Fans wanted a turnover. Instead, they bury a 3.
Officials saying that the offensive player kept his hand on top of the ball the entire time. I have to see a replay to see it. Looked like that ball came to rest. Again, Moultrie can drive this kid.
Boss looking for a pick from Moultrie out high. Bryant leaves it for Moultrie. He's going to take another outside jumper. Steele in traffic, got the rebound. And now Boss for a long 3. That's short. And Putney just keeps piling up the rebounds. Some of them are falling right into his hands.
Right. For a guy 6'9", he's gotten a lot of below the rim rebounds, hasn't he?
16 boards in all for Putney. Morgan has it rejected by Moultrie. Well, we're inside the 4-minute mark. What looked like it was going to be a blowout has become a very competitive game. UMass on the road leading by 2.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building.
Okay.
All right. Well, we might as well just do the rest of the game. See who wins. Whoever's going to end up with more points is going to win this thing.
Most probably. Crazier things have
No,
happened.
but he keeps telling me everything else out here, that's for sure. I think we got too good a game right now. Yeah.
We'll talk about the Akron Zips a little bit. I did their game here against the Bulldogs back in November. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do Washington, Arlington. I did Northwestern. Didn't do Northwestern. Didn't do Oregon. Didn't do Dayton or Iowa. I only did 2. It's a bad screen from me. Next screen.
It's an on-ball screen. It's an on-monitor screen for you. Boy, the rebound disparity has never slowed down. Plus 13. All right, Mike, that one follows us. You see Washington and UT Arlington also coming up tonight on ESPNU. Washington, the Pac-12 regular season champ, doesn't make the tournament. So in the NIT, LSU from the SEC, also on that side of the bracket here. We did not have a close game for most of it. And all of a sudden, Mississippi State went on a 17-4 run, got the lead. Since then, though, they stalled a little bit from the floor. And now they trail by 2. Chaz Williams on a runner in the lane.
When you're 5'7", you have to have that shot in your back pocket. That little runner and teardrop and gets it up high.
And another turnover, but luckily for Mississippi State, a missed shot on the inside.
We had that Northwestern game coming up after us. Akron came in here and beat Mississippi State this year out of the MAC, and I was very impressed with how they played. They got a 7-footer, Zeke Marshall. You haven't watched that team play. That's worth tuning into for a while. That Akron team's hard to beat now.
DeBoss.
Yeah, get into his hip.
Gets his shoulder down, and Putney picks up his 4th foul.
That is an automatic for DeBoss. When you try to hedge and level him off, he'll get at your hip. That's the shot I'm talking about. And that was a teardrop over Wendell Lewis, who again is watching the guy shoot instead of challenging the shot.
Another guy that makes that shot, a freshman that you'll see tomorrow on that side of the bracket. We just showed you Anthony Hickey at LSU's got that.
Oh, he's
runner.
good. That's a ball game waiting to happen. LSU at Oregon. Oregon, a team that can really score. They got better as the year went on. It does not surprise me that Washington, the regular season champ out of the Pac-12, didn't get in. I just didn't think they had enough on their resume. The only Power 6 regular season champion to never get in since we expanded the field.
Yep. DeBoss, 17 points, 4 out of 5 from the free throw line. He's made 404, now 405 career free throws here in Starkville. And he's got it back to a 2-point game, just under 3 to go.
Can they get stops? Their inability to get back-to-back stops is why they're in the NIT as opposed to the NCAA, talking about Mississippi State.
Williams over Lewis.
That shot cannot happen. That action is so simple to guard if you're committed to it.
So Williams, a couple of jumpers. One in the lane, one on the outside. 23 for Chaz. He's got his team in front now by 4. We approach 2 minutes. Moultrie with a finger roll. Moultrie with 30.
And maybe his most determined move of the night. And he caught that ball and had a plan.
Career high in points for Arnette Moultrie. Picked a good time to come with it after a disastrous start by the Bulldogs that saw UMass jump out to an 8-0 lead by as many as 14 in this half. And now it's a 2-point game with under 2 to go. Putney's going to try a 3. Not sure about that one. Although he's hit 50 of them this year and a 38% three-point shooter. Rick Stansberry's going to take a timeout. Down by 2.
60-second timeout.
Well, Mississippi State got 1 stop. Now can they get another one on the next possession? That's the simple plan I'm talking about right there. I mean, Wendell Lewis is standing and watching Chaz Williams come off of 2 on-ball actions, and as the 3rd defender, you've got to step up and show some resistance. And to me, that's what this game is going to boil down to. Mississippi State can score. I don't know if they can get another stop right now.
Here's Arnette Moultrie. A determined move as he put his shoulder in there on Sean Carter and really went with some authority to the basket to pick up his 30th point. And Jimmy, I got to admit that we were dogging the Bulldogs a little bit in this game. They showed a lack of maturity, a lack of any kind of want to. They started to want to in the second half, and you know who did it? D-Bost and Arnette Moultrie.
Yeah, well, those are the 2 guys that I think have played the hardest over the period of this ball game. And in UMass, they had a chance now to get 2 hands around the shoulders, and they didn't do it. They kind of started playing in a little bit of a lull and allowed Mississippi State to kind of hang around this ball game. It was a danger point, and Mississippi State got a hold of it. And now you're trying to deal with 2 first-team All-SEC players in D-Bost and Arnette Moultrie.
So the ball is Mississippi State's with 1:44 to go, trailing by 2.
I know where I go with this basketball. It goes to number 23 in white, and it gets there coming out of the hands of number 3 in white. Bosch should be the initiator, the playmaker. Arnette Moultrie should be the first guy designed to finish it off.
It's Moultrie, Hood, Lewis, Bost, and Jalen Steele for Mississippi State. And Steele will be the trigger man. Into Bost. Let's see where D goes with it. Moultrie on the left wing. Kind of biding his time right now.
This will come back to Bost. It should. It has all season long.
Now Moultrie, and it was a bad pass. Tried to get it to him on the high post, and he was going one way, and the pass was going the other. And that's the last thing Mississippi State needed.
I'm going to say it again. Can Mississippi State get back-to-back stops in this ball game? They had one on the last possession. They don't score, and they must get another one right now.
UMass certainly hasn't worried about the shot clock the entire night until now, as they try to shorten things down to a minute. Williams gets it underneath. Easy pass to Carter, and Carter missed the shot, or it would have been a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, but you allow a 2-foot shot with a game on the line, and it's hard to win ball games.
Well, Wendell Lewis hasn't played the greatest defense tonight. Now he's done playing defense. He fouls out.
Brad, that's just a simple 5-on-1 action. The 5 guy for UMass is stepping up to set an on-ball screen on the 1. And that action has bothered Mississippi State all season long. It doesn't matter if it's Wendell Lewis or Renardo Sidney or Arnette Moultrie coming up to defend it. They have not been able to delete it out of other teams' arsenal.
And Carter is leaving the door open for him. First of all, he missed the shot inside, which would have been a 3-point play opportunity. Now he missed the first free throw. So this is going to be a 1-possession game no matter what happens if Mississippi State gets the rebound, and they do. And now it's still a 2-point game. How about that? 2 missed free throws on what should have been a sure thing on the field goal in the first place. And Stansberry takes the timeout again with 50 seconds left.
I think this. I don't think Rick Stansberry this time is going to mess around with letting the ball get in the hands of someone other than D-Bost or Arnette Moultrie. That's the mistake that was made last time. They were trying to work D-Bost off of a little Allen Iverson playing around the baseline. I don't think this time. I think you get the thing into D-Bost and you trust those 2 guys to make the right play. Some type of back screen action for Arnette Moultrie to the low block, But D-Boss get this ball in his hands and go make the right read.
Did you see D-Boss right near the end of that timeout? He just sort of tapped Arnette Moultrie on the shoulder as if to say, here we go.
Like you and I do right before broadcast. Yeah.
50 seconds remaining. And a 2-point game. Boss, the senior leader of this team. It's going to be Hood that will be the guy that will trigger it from in front of the scorer's table.
Boss has to get himself open. They screen for him, and this is what I anticipated. This ball should not go to anyone but other than D-Boss or Moultrie, and there's the play.
There's Moultrie working against Carter, spins into traffic. He'll go to the free throw line, and Putney is gone as well if the foul's on him.
Well done by Rick Stansberry, knowing that at the end of the day, that's what Arnette Moultrie does best. He's a post driver, and he has driven Carter all game long. So at the very least, you get yourself to the free throw stripe right now. Now, can Arnette Moultrie step up and tie this ball game?
Putney fouls out with 10 points and 16 career-high rebounds. What he has done, just in case this game doesn't end in regulation, that could be huge because you take away the long presence of Raphael Putney, 6'9" with those long arms. And his day is done. So is Wendell Lewis for Mississippi State. So each guy has lost an inside player. Each team, rather.
Brad, I really like Putney. I mean, he's just a redshirt sophomore. Chaz Williams is a sophomore. Morgan's a sophomore. Terrell Vinson's a junior. I mean, Carter's the only guy that Derek Kellogg won't have back next year.
Arnette Moultrie is sitting on a career-high 30 points. As you saw, he's a 77% free throw shooter. 4 out of 5 tonight, now 5 out of 6. 31. This one ties it if he hits it. Tie game. 32 for Moultrie. 72 for each team. 35 seconds to play. There's a 5-second difference in the shot clock and the game clock. And all of a sudden, Humphrey Coliseum, everybody's standing. He's going to go. It's going to be right about now. 10 seconds. Looks at his coach. 8 seconds.
Yep. He's going to let Williams just go. This is going to be a Williams getting the ball screen. See if he makes the play.
High up off the window. Missed the shot. And the putback's no good because the shot clock expired. It never touched the rim, I don't think. And that's the call by the officials. So there's 5.6 seconds remaining. And a timeout. Let's take another look.
30-second timeout.
Williams went to work, went high off the glass, Jimmy.
Mississippi State.
You knew that's the play they're going to go with. And look at the shot clock on with the red numbers. Boy, I don't know. I don't think it grazed the front of that rim, Brad. It gets up on the glass right here. 2-1.
No. I think the call is good. It does not touch the rim. At least I didn't think in live action, and I still don't see any change of the trajectory of the ball. That didn't hit the rim.
No, and if it didn't hit the rim, he didn't get it out of his hands before the shot clock went to zeros.
Refs are taking a look at it right now. Raina Tilley and Tim Gaddis and Earl Walton.
But Brad, I never saw the officials with the shot clock violation sign. I don't know if you did or not.
The guy that blew his whistle was Tim Gaddis out here near midcourt, and he waved it off as if to say no shot.
Okay.
That I saw. And he was about 40 feet away, but he was out there with a good look at it.
Okay. Our statistician, who's on top of a lot of things, said that he saw him patting his head, so that's the sign for the shot clock violation.
You might see it to the left of your screen. The official, that is. He's going to be out of the screen. Well, we're not going to be able to see it, but right out here is where Tim Gaddis. Now you'll see Tim's way up in there in the corner. But again, he's too far away. I said he was about 40-some feet away, but he's the one that made the call. And he did it right in front, basically, of the UMass bench. And now Derek Kellogg's getting it all explained to him. Meanwhile, Mississippi State has got a chance to win, or maybe we're looking at overtime. 5.6 seconds remaining.
If D-Boss can catch this basketball going towards his rim, he has time for 4 dribbles for sure, if not 5. I mean, he can go way deep right now. The way this UMass press is spread out, if he can just get himself in a good catch position.
6.1. They had put a little bit of time back on the clock, a half second, and that's an eternity now if you can get it in a guy's hands like DeBoss.
Brad, what they were checking, that possession started at 40.1, so they want to make sure they have the right amount after the 35 seconds has expired.
So once they did the math, that's what you end up with. And 6.1's a lot of time.
Sure it is.
That's why Derek Keller called a timeout. He wants that full court press, and he wants to make sure they earn every one of those seconds.
Brad, where they had DeBoss lined up with, Rick Stansbury did, had him initially starting in the middle of the floor. And it's hard to catch the ball, turning the corner in that position. I would prefer to get DeBoss on one of the outer thirds of the floor and let him make his cut from there. But they're going to start him in the middle, and that's okay. I just think it's a little quicker if you can start him on the outer third and let him cut to the middle third and then turn the corner and go.
Remember, all the Bulldogs need is 2. Don't need a 3-point shot. Seemingly they have enough time to get it the length of the court depending on how tough the defense is by UMass.
And Hood cannot move down here as the passer.
Wood
cut him and go.
Got it to Moultrie, got it to DeBoss. Boss driving for the win. Missed it. Overtime.
Exactly what you want though, Brad. You want to get that ball to the middle part of the floor so you don't get trapped out of a shot. And it's a good play design to not throw it initially to Boss. They're going to break him off, and then the circle cut, boom, right there. But DeBoss, an all-SEC guard, knows, get the ball to the middle third of the floor, take the trap out of it, and at least get the shot up on the rim. Boy, that's the guy you want. He's 6'3". That's a pretty good look.
Yep. So, Jimmy, remember about 5 minutes ago, I said if the game should go past regulation, we got 2 guys gone. Putney is gone. Wendell Lewis is gone. Each team has lost a frontline player. Putney probably a bigger loss because he had a career high 16 rebounds when he went out to go with his 10 points. But right now, Arnette Moultrie has led the way. He's got a career high in scoring, and he's still in the ball game and doesn't have foul trouble. So there's the guy I know that UMass would love to have on the floor for this extra 5 minutes.
Absolutely, with a double-double. I mean, he was making a lot of plays around the rim with his length. Potential shot blocker on drives of DeBoss.
Went from a game that wasn't even close to a game that can't get any closer. 72-72 as we are set to put 5 more minutes back on. And Arnette Moultrie and Sean Carter will jump it up to get things going. Again, Moultrie has no foul trouble. With the exception of Lewis being gone, Mississippi State doesn't really have any foul trouble either.
UMass in regulation took 74 shots in this game, and there for a while they were tracking 80. So the pace slowed down just enough to allow Mississippi State to get an extra 5 minutes in this game. Just keep post driving Moultrie right now. I mean, give him a chance.
Boston, a pick and roll, wanted to get it to Moultrie, goes to Hood instead. Hood for 3, and he got it. Only the second field goal for the freshman, but they've both been 3-pointers. And Mississippi State has got its biggest lead of the ball game. It evaporated in a hurry as Carter got a slam on the other end. Trapped in the corner, but they get it out of there. Boss got the pass ahead, and now Hood in the front court.
DeBoss has played about 30 minutes in this game with 2 fouls.
Steal for 3.
And DeBoss continues, Brad, to make play after play after play in this game. He picked up 2 fouls early in the first half, and he just has played right through it. It has not affected his rhythm whatsoever.
Bulldogs by 4. 3-pointer goes on the other end for Farrell. He's got 12. So we've seen 3 3-pointers in overtime already. Robbie Hood's got to be careful about getting trapped here in the corner.
Just getting ready to say the same thing. That dribble was way too high for a guy trying to break the press.
Steal. They move it around to Hood for 3 again. This one rims out. And a foul. Moultrie goes down hard on his hip.
He got shoved from behind. I think it's an inadvertent shove. Watch Moultrie go up and got his, right here, that's what happened. He got his leg tied up behind the knee of Carter.
Carter picks up his 4th foul now. And here's a guy that's had his career night in regulation, going back to try to. Moultrie going to the sideline to get a towel quickly. 32 points for Arnette. 6'11", 250-pound junior out of Jackson, Mississippi. Already 4 points over his previous best scoring nights.
Brad, you've heard me say this about him before. For a kid 6'11" and 250, he plays really, really hard. And that's something that's kind of rare for a kid that size. A lot of times they kind of coast or have a gear about him that as a coach you're trying to get him up to another level. Not this kid. He's got a motor now, and that motor has a big reason why he's got these numbers tonight. He's played hard.
And he's motoring from the free throw line, too. He's only missed 1 tonight. 7 out of 8. Trying to give his team a 3-point lead here with 3 minutes, 23 seconds to go, and he has 80-77.
I mean, he's not even hitting the rim on those free throws. Now you're zoning a club that has made about 8 or 9 threes per ball game over the course of the season, so you better make sure you know where those shooters are.
Williams thought about one. There goes another one.
Not sure I like the zone by Mississippi State for that reason right there.
Jesse Morgan buried that one. We're tied at 80. Under 3 minutes. Moultrie asking for it on the low block. Whoa! Trying to get it back out to Jalen Steele, and he threw it 8 feet over his coach's head. And that's a big turnover.
I don't know why he's passing. I mean, he's been unguardable. All he had to do is be patient and wait for that space to operate. He's a gap attack guy, and he did not wait.
Well, here come the Minutemen with a chance to lead again. Williams drives, kicks out on the baseline. And a shot is good for Vincent, and a chance for a 3-point play.
All set up by the play of Chaz Williams. He gets right into D. Boss. That's by design. He got to Boss and made sure that Boss couldn't take him out of the play from behind, and then does a good job of finding a late bailout, and that's exactly what it was, and a good hard cut by Vincent to be there.
And Vincent comes up with a huge 3-point play here in overtime. 3-point UMass lead. 83-80. And a kickball by Morgan. Hood, Bryant, Boss, Steele, and Moultrie on the floor for Rick Stansberry. Boss weaving through traffic. Leaves it for Steele. Good 3-point shooter. Boss, and he is run into by Williams. He picks up his 4th foul. So now 4 fouls on Williams, 4 fouls on Vincent, and 4 fouls on Carter. 3 of the starters for UMass. D-Boss to go to the free throw line, where he's perfect. I beg your pardon, he's 5 out of 6 tonight.
Throughout his career, he's always been a better driver going left. And he wanted to get that ball on the right side of the floor so he could drive right through the L and the elbow area with his left hand.
Remember, at the end of regulation, he drove to his left, but he took the shot with his right hand, and it was off the mark. Those 2 free throws are not off the mark. 20 for Boss, 34 for Moultrie. 2 minutes left in the game, and UMass by 1.
Good seal, huh? Wow, what a seal.
Farrell, no problem with a slam, and a 3-point lead again.
The home team, Brad, continues to give up too many easy shots at the rim. You could put a film together how many time they've given it up.
There's the pass down low to Bryant. It doesn't go, but he'll go to the free throw line.
This is all set up by a hard seal up top. Watch Carter. Is this thing going to happen? Hold it right here, guys. Boom, right there. That's right there. You talk about taking people out. Well done by Carter, and a good read off of it by Javon Farrell.
Carter used that 250 pounds to shut the door on Moultrie trying to get over there. First free throw attempt of the night. Brian Bryant's good. He's got 7 points. One possession game here in overtime with 1:33 left.
And the we can outscore you mentality continues in the extra period. Had 8 field goals taken in the extra session. 7 of them have gone through the rim.
Fatigue's got to be starting to become a factor.
I would think so.
Again, Bulldogs in the zone.
That's
Vincent,
dangerous.
he's going to take it. Rimmed out. And a foul on the floor on the rebound is going to be on Hood. So that's going to send Sean Carter back to the free throw line where he hit his first 3, missed his last 3. At the end of regulation, missed a couple that might have made the difference. He's got another opportunity now here in overtime.
Brad, he really gets that ball behind his head. He's launching it. You watch his release point. He brings the ball behind his head, and that's not how you teach anybody to do it. Doesn't matter there.
Nope, made them both.
Behind my head, above my head, in front of my head, doesn't matter. It's overtime, and I'm sticking them. We got a 3-point lead. Getting ready to get back on a chartered flight and go home is what he's thinking.
With a minute left, it is a 3-point UMass lead. Steal for the tie. Got it.
Well done. Well done. Your best 3-point shooter. They space him on the high side of the floor.
Morgan dribbled into traffic. Williams in traffic, found it off the window. Smallest guy on the floor with the biggest play so far, 25 for Williams.
Brad, in overtime, and the season about to end, you cannot let a 5'7" guy shoot a layup on you. You can't let it happen.
There's about an 11-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Moultrie for 3. Rebound is Carter's. Moultrie might have tried the 3-pointer one too many times tonight. He hit his first 2. He's missed the rest since.
Brad, it's a 2-point game. Moultrie's working on career numbers, and he settles for a 3. That's a really good job by Hood to get the ball to the top side of the floor to the best 3-point shooter. But then this is right here. You just can't let that happen. Moultrie stands straight up. A 6'11" guy stands straight up, allows a 5'7" guy to go by, and that's why you have a 2-point deficit.
Carter hit his last 2 just moments ago. 3 swishes in a row for Carter. This one's huge. It would make it a 2-possession game with 35 seconds left in OT. And that one's short. 1-possession game.
He called timeout at the end of regulation. He's going to do it again. I don't think he trusts the built-in shot selection of his guys right now.
Let's go to the studio and check in with Mike. I can't see. DeMoss and Arnette Moultrie have had sensational games. It is DeMoss' last game ever. He told us before the game, I wanted to play one more time at the Humphrey Coliseum, and I've never played a game yet where I didn't expect to win and didn't play to win. Well, it's going to be either in his hands or Arnette Moultrie's right here with 28 seconds left. to try to tie it one more time.
Brad, I go for 2 here and extend this game. I mean, Steele, if he gets a shot, that's fine. But if not, Moultrie and Boss need to be the guys.
Here's Steele. Got it!
Well, that's why he's in there.
90-90. 15 seconds left in overtime.
What did they do last time? It all started with Chaz Williams receiving a screen on the ball and letting him make a play. Do they go back to it?
5. Williams against Boss. A crossover dribble. Reverses. Puts it up over Boss. Missed it. Double overtime. Wow.
The good news is it started at 6 o'clock local time, and Little Dewey's, the barbecue place, stays open till 10. That's what I've been told. Well, Rick Stansberry dials up a play for Steele, the best shooter. It's an elevator screen, and he slips through the elevator. Well done. That's a well-designed play. Chaz Williams doesn't work off of a screen action. He just goes one-on-one. And again, because he's only 5'7" or 5'8", and D. Boss is 6'3", he had to put a lot of arch on that shot. Kind of got him out of the natural rhythm, and we play again.
The elevator screen, and Jalen Steele put it on about the 4th floor with the arch on that shot to get it over the double team, and knocks down his 5th three-pointer of the ball game to send us to double overtime. Boy, for a game that was terrible earlier, pretty good, huh?
Well, what's your definition of terrible?
Well, it was a 14-point lead for UMass.
It was terrible, no.
And the Bulldogs weren't playing very hard.
Yeah, well, that's the definition, because that's exactly what it was, partner. You're right, but now we got some life and some energy, some plays being made, some effort being shown. Sometimes it takes 40 minutes to get it out of your system that we didn't make the NCAAs, and I think both clubs are bound and determined to get to the next round in this thing.
Bully's still with us.
Absolutely.
90-90. Going to double overtime. 25 points for Chaz Williams to lead the way for UMass. Arnette Moultrie's got 36. D. Bost has 20. And the biggest shot so far, the 5th three-pointer for Jalen Steele, who's got 17.
And Rick Stansberry has, I think, seen enough of any other big on the floor. Bernardo Sidney, only 3 fouls. He
hasn't played the entire second half or overtime.
He's wearing the towels, all he's doing. And Wendell Lewis is gone, so it's 4 perimeter players around Arnette Moultrie, and it's their best team because they're playing the hardest.
Steele's got to get rid of it. Gets it to Bost. D on the dribble. He's going to try to set a screen for Brian Bryant. And now Hood. And Hood got fouled, it looked like.
He did.
No call. Missed the 3.
He got fouled after the release.
On the baseline. Nice move with a finger roll. Not finishing, but then Sean Carter tips it in.
And it's going to boil down to, with Mississippi State playing a small team, can they defend the power part of the floor, 6-foot radius around the rim? I think that's going to determine this game.
So UMass by 2 in overtime. Moultrie taking Carter inside, over him with a right hand, no good, tipped. Bryant got the rebound, had it blocked, got it back, or had it. And then, did he step on the baseline? He did. Boy, he's worked hard tonight. He's got some loose ball rebounds, some good moves on the offensive glass. There he is, getting the shot. And then, well, I guess they say dribble it on the baseline. His foot never hit it.
For a kid 6'3", he's got more rebounds than most bigs in this game, doesn't he?
Yep. Wide open again, a guy in the lane. Carter goes up for the rebound, and he's fouled by Bryant. Double overtime, UMass by 2, and Sean Carter going back to the free throw line, where he's hit 3 of his last 4.
Brad, you've heard me talk about it all season long. You win ball games by, first of all, going to the free throw stripe more than your opponent. Secondly, by scoring at the rim more than your opponent. And then third in line is making clean threes. And UMass continues to own those first 2 things, from the free throw stripe and scoring around the rim.
Carter looking for his 20th point tonight, and has it. His career high was just a couple of weeks ago, the end of the regular season against Rhode Island when he had 22. He's given his team a 4-point lead in double overtime.
Boss now working off the ball, so he's going to be a screener for Moultrie and pop to a shot.
Bryant looking to Moultrie. He's got to give it up. Now back to Boss with 15 on the clock. A little over 3 to play in double overtime.
I mean, Moultrie can only be open for 3 or 4 seconds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had his guy buried.
Hood penetrates inside and scores.
I think Rick might get out of the zone.
Well, he's going to stay in it.
He's going to stay in it.
Boy, Morgan had a look too, and he gave it up. Kicks out. Chaz Williams thought about it. They work it back around the perimeter. Williams wants it back. He's going to take it for 3. Got it.
Just a gutty little kid, man.
Wow.
41% on the year from the 3-point line.
He's got 28 points, and they're up 5 in double overtime. Here's Bryant. Nice body control by Brian Bryant to get the bucket. Get it back to 3.
Looking back on the year, Rick Stansbury may think he should have played this lineup together a lot more.
Boy, no kidding.
Because Bryant gives you a whole lot more productivity than a couple of bigs that he's played this season.
We are at 2 minutes remaining in double overtime. Morgan got his man in the air. Leaves it for Carter inside. He missed it, but the follow is good by Vincent.
If you just started tracking how many times UMass has gotten the ball at that part of the floor and either made the shot or followed it up, that's going to be the difference in this ball game.
Minutemen by 5. DeBost on the drive, off the window, a little too strong. Carter's got the rebound. We're down to a minute and a half. UMass trying to survive in double overtime on the road in round 1 of the NIT.
And Chaz Williams can just dribble 23 seconds off this shot clock and take a late clock shot right now. I mean, you're not going to get a 5-second count against him. You're not going to take it from him. He is in control of that ball.
Extra pass, 8 on the shot clock.
You got to get it back to him.
They are eating the clock right here. 5-4. Morgan forces a 3. Rebound DeBost. Under a minute though. 5-point game. 2 possessions. Mississippi State's going to have to hustle pretty soon. Boss draws a double team. Got it down low to Bryant. Nice adjustment in midair again to score. And now there's a 12-second difference, shot clock and game clock here in double overtime. 99-96.
Eric Kellogg still has 4 timeouts to use, and we're in the second overtime. I know you get another one every time you play, but he just lets his guys play through stuff now.
Vincent missed with a left hand, got his own rebound and pulled it back out wisely. Fresh shot clock, now the clock's off, and the foul's on DeBost on Farrell.
Brad, you could go back this entire overtime, and I can't remember UMass doing anything other than getting the ball at the rim and either scoring or getting an offensive rebound back. I don't remember any other play. And here it is again, just get the ball to the free throw stripe, go inside, score, miss, get it back out, and go again.
Drains the free throw. And this one might do it. Going to be a 2-possession game either way, as the Minutemen have hit the century mark and now make it 101. What a ball game. 101-96 in double overtime. Still got 20.8 left as we check in with Mike Yam. Mike. Yeah, no, I think we should give him a little salute, and then
with who? Okay.
All right, Mike, 20.8 remaining. UMass leading 101-96. If you just tuned into this one, you've missed an unbelievable second half and a couple of overtimes. It was 41-31 UMass at halftime. They got it up to 14 points Mississippi State actually regained the lead, or took the lead for the first time at 63-62. We went to the end of regulation, tied at 72. First overtime tied at 90. And now UMass has opened a gap of 5 points with 20.8 seconds remaining. And if indeed Mississippi State loses this game, I salute that young fella for his 4 years here and playing his heart out. I don't know that he's come out of the ball game, and we're in double overtime. If he has, it was for a breather. And he told us before the game, again, I've never played a game that I didn't play to win, and I'm not going to do that tonight. And his teammates, other than Moultrie, really didn't look like they were interested until the second half when they tied things and then took the lead. And now we'll see if UMass can hold on.
2 or 3 doesn't matter. Just score points on this possession as quickly as you can. Look for a steal and then a foul. Oh, makes a mistake.
Voss threw it cross court to Brian. Brian, who was open. And I think just plain tiredness, fatigue has gotten to these guys here late in this double overtime. 10.7 left.
It looked like Boss was expecting Bryant to kind of flare out outside that three-point line, and Bryant was sucked in. Look out. I'm not going 2 for 2 in the last 2 weeks now.
Bryant almost came over the top of our broadcast table. Meanwhile, Vincent will inbound right in front of us. 9.5 remaining in double overtime. He gets it to Chaz Williams. I think it's pretty much over. And DeBost, I don't think they're going to foul him. Maybe they will. He gets the pass ahead. UMass is going to advance to round 2 of the NIT. And boy, they do it in some kind of fashion. You don't see a lot of 101-96 ball games, do you? Great game to watch. A lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Don't forget, on ESPN2, the NIT continues. Akron and Northwestern, they're already underway. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Jimmy Dykes and our entire crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from Starkville. Mike and Franny are standing by in Evanston. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
This game is streaming live on your computer, tablet, or smartphone via WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app.
Lance, a little help here. I want to make sure this thing is working so you can hear. Wow.
That good? Yes, I can.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Little Chaz kid's tough, man.
Yeah, he knows how. He's tough. He's a winner.
I thought he really got hurt down here. It was an awkward,
ugly looking.
Awkward fall.
Looked like they cut him a little bit, not on purpose, on accident.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
There where his legs went.
Yeah.
All right. Holy cow, he's in a different county over here already. You sure it's him? Okay. Derek, your first postseason win. Congratulations. I tell you what, you had to earn it. 101-96 double overtime. I would wager a guess that some of your kids didn't even know where Mississippi was. Now they know.
Absolutely. It was a long trek down here, but we played a pretty good game tonight. I thought we really sped up the tempo, got the game up and down. It was a fun basketball game to play. I think it was a great basketball game to coach, and I think the fans had a good time. And fortunately, we were able to pull out a double overtime win. We haven't been as fortunate as of late in those close ones, so it was nice to finally get a W.
I was impressed all broadcast long with the play and the heart and the toughness of Chaz Williams. Just talk about what he means to your club.
Chaz is a tough customer. He brings that New York City edge to us. He really gets the other guys on the team involved, and I thought he did a nice job of putting the basketball in the hoop for us. And 101 points, I think, could be attributed to his leadership in really getting the ball up and down.
I'm always interested. What did you tell your guys about playing the NIT? Because you look like, to me, from the opening tip, you're excited to be here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great step for our program. Our guys definitely deserve to play in the postseason, and everybody hopes for the NCAA, but I think the NIT is an unbelievable tournament. Mississippi State's a team that could probably go in the NCAAs and do very well, so for us to come down here and have an opportunity to play, I said all afternoon, it's just great that we're able to play at this time of year.
You said to us earlier today, when we force turnovers and get points off them, we usually win. When we hit our three-pointers, we usually win. You did a great job of that second half in overtime and double overtime, hitting some big threes.
Yeah, and I thought in the first half we did a great job of turning them over. We didn't take full advantage of it. But I thought throughout the contest our press was effective. Our up and down game was great. And when you knock down some threes, it's a fun style to watch and a great way to play.
23rd one of the season.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well, good luck in the next round.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Big win in double overtime tonight for UMass.
Good job, Derek.
Good job, man.